American Nightmare has arrived. The son of a dream looking to realize his destiny in WWE. Multiple tag team and intercontinental championship reigns during his first run here in WWE. But now that the prodigal son has returned, Cody Rhodes has reached main event status.
こんにちは、皆さん。I'm Great Oka Unite Empire。今日は試合があった。そして彼がエンパイアの応援してくれるよ。みんな、ブローケンテーブルポッドキャストよろしく。
Yeah, hear the battle cry under the devil's sky. The one-winged angel screams. It fuels my hopes and dreams. The best diversion.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Broken Tables podcast. I'm your host, Jeffrey Vegas, here as always with our reigning, defending Broken Predictions champion. How you doing tonight, Rome?
I'm doing pretty good.
Pretty good? Yeah, man. After a pretty good episode of Collision, wouldn't you say?
There were some things I liked. There were some things I didn't. I didn't think it was a bad show. I thought it was a good show.
Yeah, thought it was a very good show. Gotta say, man, it kind of hit me as we were watching the match with Bullet Club Gold. Juice Robinson's been on every single episode of Collision so far.
Yep, he's wrestling next week as well.
Dude, he's so good. Every match has been a banger. And, I might have been mistaken thinking that, some of the other guys were what were causing all these bangers, but, maybe Juice is a little bit better than I might have given him some credit for.
Oh, I mean, Juice is great. So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever said anything different.
No.
So, but welcome everybody. Hey, the Day Trading Doge in chat. We got Michael Duke here as well. What's up, gentlemen? How you guys doing? I thought this was a really good episode. There wasn't much that I didn't like. There was a little bit actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, so we'll run through it. But overall, I thought it was a pretty good episode. How you feeling about Collision after 6 episodes?
Oh, I mean, this week I would say I thought Dynamite was better, but
Okay.
I mean, Collision's been great so far. I know next week looks freaking stacked, so it's a great
know,
show.
right?
I think it's been a success. I mean, look, they're not going to do the numbers that Dynamite does because of the time slot in the day, but even the network has said via reports that they don't care necessarily about how many people are watching the show. It's how are they doing in comparison to the competition. If Collision continues to do well in the competition, then that's what they care about on Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, we started off the episode with great promos from just about everybody that was on the episode again. I absolutely love the way that they do that with Collision. I can't say that enough. Pretty sure we've said it every single episode. Started off with the Acclaimed doing a quick little promo. It was awesome with Daddy Ass in that pink fuzzy sweater jacket thing. I was like, man, it's 90 degrees outside. What do you... But this was great. I love the start to Collision every single week. We'll have to note next time we do a watch along to turn the audio off for the opening song because YouTube didn't like the opening song playing on our watch along there. But not a big deal. It didn't affect the channel at all. So we started out with Ricky Starks making his way to the ring with his newfound Owen Hart Tournament Championship belt and a really nice Louis Vuitton bag, which I was actually assuming uh the trophy was in. I was like, that looks big enough to hold the trophy. I couldn't remember exactly how big it was, and I didn't bother to go look, but I thought the trophy was going to be in there. Um, Ricky comes out to more pyro than Cody could have ever dreamed of. Like, that was an insane amount of pyro for Ricky Starks there. That was like what you get on the end of WrestleMania, after a new champion is crowned. You know what I mean?
Dude, the amount of pyro that they used for Ricky here was absurd, but it was really well done.
And I think it was Riccaboni, but I might be wrong. Said that's over $150,000 worth of pyro right there for Ricky Starks. I started dying. I was cracking up when he said that. So Ricky gets on the mic and he says, "What's in the bag? Nothing. I just wanted to show off my new Louis I went and bought after I got this championship, dude." I was laughing so hard at that. I was not expecting that. I really thought that the trophy was in that bag. I don't know why. Ricky says, "You know what? I got it done by any means necessary." And I actually think that might have been one of the exact things that we had talked about, last week when he held the ropes to defeat Punk. And I was like, listen, man, he's in the finals, just by any means necessary, and I think that was pretty cool that he said that's what he did. But CM Punk comes out, and CM Punk tries to say that, he's not upset with Ricky. He's proud of him. Well, what did you think of that, man? I was kind of like, oh wow, that's a little bit of a shocker there. I was expecting Punk wanting to come out and asking for a rematch and all kinds of stuff like that.
I mean, it's like, see, okay, so we need to just do this. So, so CM Punk, he says, "Look, I can't blame you for cheating. Like, look at these fucking losers in New Jersey. They've all cheated before. It's like."
That was so good.
So here's the thing, right? And here's what I need people to understand. So a lot of people don't, unless you're like a very early subscriber to this podcast, like the coach, and this was like pre-Coog Day, where I don't like. In fact, I would go as far to say that I fucking despise the state of New Jersey. Like, let's be honest, it was what started the gimmick. Like this started
I remember, yeah.
because I fucking had to cut a promo. I had to shoot. This was a shoot, not work. This is a shoot on New Jersey.
I remember you had to apologize for it as well in another video follow-up.
Yeah, well, I mean, the apology was that they can all kiss my ass.
I know, yeah, I know.
So here's the thing, right?
What up, Coach? What up,
The
Coog?
coach is here, so I'm glad the coach is here. New Jersey. So one of my biggest things with tonight's show, and I do have some issues with the show. This crowd, I like. We're gonna talk about it as we go through the night because I have notes, and like, there were people there that I follow on Twitter that were tweeting about the show and like the fans specifically. And what a dog shit bad crowd. I don't care if you're a hot crowd. If you're an uninvested crowd who is just trying to get yourselves over, that was
See,
fucking lame.
I thought you were going to go the other direction because they were very pro CM Punk. I thought you were going to be like, wow, New Jersey was pro Punk. Okay.
Well, no. So yes, later in the show they were, but in the beginning of the show, and as the show goes on, like they're delusional. They're fucking stupid because they booed CM Punk, they booed the Young Bucks, they booed Connecticut. It's like, okay, look, if you just want to like huff some glue and live in New Jersey, that's your business. Don't come to my wrestling shows and huff glue in the bathrooms, whatever you're doing in New Jersey. And like there may be someone listening to this podcast who lives in the state of New Jersey and may ask yourselves, Rome, why do you hate New Jersey so much? And it's just like, I don't even know how to describe it. Like I know that I've like very early in the pod's life cycle. I you know I would say my hatred in life is like the Dallas Cowboys, WWE, New Jersey, and
Oh,
that's pretty tight. Actually, you know what? There times have changed.
yeah.
So there is actually something else that I hate more than New Jersey. It's the Dallas Cowboys, WWE, that pay for Twitter
Dude,
Blue, New Jersey.
you want to hear something gross? So
Uh,
we hired a new guy at Curly's, and
mhm.
he's a Cowboys fan. And I was like, bro, how do you wind up being a Cowboys fan living in this area? And he's like, oh, well, I'm from New Jersey. And I was like, bro, like, that's even worse, man.
Anyway, so yeah, the four things that I hate in the world, and this is Dallas Cowboys, WWE, people that pay for Twitter Blue / Stan Elon, New Jersey. It's like those are just the four most like ridiculously terrible things that have so little value and like no substance, no positive substance. You live in New Jersey. You can't make a left turn. You're not allowed to pump your own gas. The taxes are fucking ridiculous. I hate New
The
It is
left turn thing is weird.
it's really weird, and especially like why? Well, I know
You
why.
gotta like
Because
make a right turn and do a loop de loo for everything. It's so weird.
it's because the people of New Jersey are too stupid to know how to make. So like I guess I mean like can you blame the government for that because they know that the population
Yeah.
of the state are just dumb? Like I mean I don't know.
It's all
So
in good
anyway,
fun, Michael. We're Eagles fans, all in good fun, bud.
but so well no I don't like that is a shoot that like again the things that when I say I hate these things I'm not working. Like,
So,
this is
coach, yeah, so all of the roads, there's no left turns. You have to turn right, and they have these weird right turns that are like little loop-de-loos
yeah
that put you on.
they're
So,
called
like,
oh sorry go ahead.
go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say they're called jug handle.
There you go.
So
Jug handles.
basically,
Yeah,
if you need to make a left in New Jersey, you have to like it's kind of like how coach, you know how you get on like an interstate or get on a highway
exactly.
and you
Yep.
get on the ramp and it kind of like loops around. Imagine a million of those across the entire fucking state of New Jersey. It's just the dumbest thing. And like if you have to get somewhere and you miss a jug handle, like you're screwed. You're just completely
Yeah,
screwed. It's the worst thing.
it's wild. All right, but back on track here. Actually, I do want to say that this was pretty funny that like half the AEW roster shit on New Jersey tonight. That was pretty
Oh,
nice.
don't worry, I noted it at every possible.
So Punk tells Ricky he's proud of him. He takes a shot at New Jersey. Says, I've cheated before. He's like, I'm pretty sure everyone in this building cheated before because it's New Jersey. Um, and Ricky basically tells Punk, he's like, listen, my Louis bag here is empty, just like your red bag. And Punk says, you want a shot at what's in the bag? And what does he say? Little Max. I didn't write that part down.
He says do you want a shot at the thing that little Max acts like it doesn't exist? Um he also talks about um that he says I'm the real world's champion. I never lost. And I thought that tonight was very interesting in a sense that they're so Ricky's heel, like that's
Yeah.
definitely a thing.
Yep.
Punk was working as a heel a little bit in the beginning, but kind of flipped on it when he realized that the crowd was kind of turning for him as the night went on. And I think that that's the genius of CM Punk is how on the fly he can be. When the night started, he said the cesspool that is New Jersey, the um like the Devils couldn't get out of the first round, just shitting on Jersey as you should, as anyone in their right mind should absolutely do. Um but I also enjoyed the line that he said before the red bag thing. I can live with the loss. Can you live with the win that you couldn't beat clean? Um, I also liked Ricky's line kind of before this. He says, I don't want to be a pillar. I don't want to be a damn pillar. I'm me. Don't compare me to anybody that came before me. I'm not here to hold the company up. I'm just thought that was great as well.
Yeah. And then Christian shows up out of nowhere. I was like, wait, what? I was like
So
bewildered for a moment.
So Christian Cage shows up with Luchasaurus, and he says, "We are contractually obligated to appear in front of this crowd tonight. But this is going on too long. We want to get in, and we got to be here, and then we want to get the fuck out of New Jersey again." Totally understand. I don't even know who's the heel in this segment because it's like I'm confused. Bunch of baby faces talking about how much they hate New Jersey. I don't see a problem with it. So Christian says, he says basically like, wow, like, yeah, you heard me. I don't want to be in Jersey. This is dirty Jersey. And then Christian, who does not actually have the TNT championship, Luchasaurus does. Christian says, what kind of man carries around a championship he didn't actually win?
Oh, I was dying, bro.
Loved it. At this point, Darby Allin comes out, and Darby says, anyone who is a ride or die for this company, that's what makes you a pillar. Like my good friend CM Punk. Punk starts getting some boos. Calling CM Punk a pillar is wild. And you know what? The agenda is on. CM Punk is now officially a pillar. Darby Allin said so. Don't come at me. Don't do it, because I'm just going off of what an OG pillar said. So if the OG pillar said it, that's what I'm going to go off. But no, this is another one of those lines being drawn you can kind of see where it's like, okay, so if this Elite versus CM Punk Civil War comes to be, you know what side Darby's on, clearly. And you would know what side Ricky's on after. Yeah. But Darby also says that Luchasaurus is some guy on drugs and who thinks he's a dinosaur. I thought that was a really funny line.
Like you took too much psychedelics. Now you think you're a dinosaur.
Darby says, let's have a tag match. And so the match gets set. Darby Allin and CM Punk versus Ricky Starks and Christian Cage.
Darby's face paint, by the way, might have been the worst paint of all time. Like, I don't know what that was all about, but it looked like he just like had some white paint and smeared it on his face and then the black, and that was weird.
No, I mean, I don't know.
But yeah, so Darby appears. Actually, I don't think we got to that part. I'm sorry. So Darby appears with the worst face paint of all time, is what I wrote. And he essentially suggests a tag match, him and Punk versus Christian and Ricky. Yep. That was a great idea for a main event. I was super stoked when I saw that. All right. Next up, they cut to a video of Andrade backstage being confronted by security when he arrived to the building. He was being told, because of last week, what he did, he was not allowed in the building this week so that there would be no interference in the Trios Championship match. What do you think of this part here? I was kind of like, okay.
So, again, I'm always going to try to look at things and see if there's some connections to them. I thought it was interesting wording. So Andrade is talking to one of the security guys, and security guy says, "No, management doesn't want you here."
Yeah, management. Yeah.
And I thought that was really interesting. And could that be something down the line? Because again, keep in mind that the reports are that when Collision was ramping up, CM Punk was like, "I want Andrade, I want Miro, I want these guys." That are on Collision. They're all Punk guys, they say.
Yeah.
So I think that's really interesting. Something to maybe keep in your back pocket for somewhere down the line. But Andrade is banned from the building.
Yep. Next up, we had Action Andretti and Darius Martin versus the Bullet Club Gold. This was a decent match here. I mean, compared to the match that Bullet Club Gold had with FTR, it was just a decent match. Good tag team match here for a Saturday night on Collision. The Bullet Club Gold picked up the win here. Jay White hits the Blade Runner onto Action Andretti, picks up the win. I thought this was a good match. It was, what was it, a good 10 minutes at least?
Yeah, I think it went about 15. So yeah, I thought this was a good match. A few things of note for me. number one, I mean, I've said it before, and I know that I'm sometimes in the minority with it. I don't know where everyone's at with it now. I love the guns.
Yes.
I just think
100%.
they're just incredible. They have new shirts, and the shirts are really cool shirts. I'm
You
like,
know what's weird is even though they lost the tag titles, I feel like they've only gotten more and more popular since that actually happened. Like when they had Many Men as their song, remember for that pay-per-view, the 50 Cent song? Like I'm seeing videos suggested to me of that like now. Like I didn't get those suggested when it happened. It's all of a sudden becoming like popular. I don't know. It's kind of weird.
yeah, no, for sure. I think that I mean, I think when the Guns won the tag titles, people weren't ready for them. But like I said then, I was like, I don't know, it sounds like you guys are just mad that the heels won the title.
Yo,
But
speaking of the Guns, new shirt of theirs just dropped that Jay White was talking about. That
yeah,
is really cool.
yeah, that was the shirt that I mentioned.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, no, it's a great shirt. I really like it. It's really cool. Um, but so yeah, I thought it was a good match. Something during the match, Nigel McGuinness on commentary, while the crowd is booing the Guns, Nigel says most of the people here don't even know their dads.
Don't
Great
even know
quote.
their what?
Dads, fathers,
Oh, yeah.
because they were comparing them to Billy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But great match. Like I said, Jay White and Juice Robinson pick up the win here. And
So
again, like I said at the beginning of the show, that's Juice's 6th collision in a row wrestling, and every match has been an absolute banger. So
okay,
good
so
job on Juice, man.
yeah, so during this match, specifically the finish, I feel the need to talk about this because it's something that's been happening regularly that
Okay.
needs to be fixed because it is something that is extremely bothersome on the production side of AEW. We've talked about the production of Collision and how much we love it. You love it. I love it. They need to, I don't know what the hell they need to do, but like the guy that's calling the camera angles in the back needs to be stopped. You like so the camera missed. Jay White wins via the Blade Runner tonight.
Yeah, I missed it.
You didn't miss it. The camera missed it. The camera did not capture the finishing mat, the finish of the mat. Like, guys, this can't keep happening. Like
Yeah, it's
it's too much of a problem. There are too many times where AEW misses a great shot to do a really weird pan. Like I understand you want to show the crowd and you want to show how hot the crowd is and you want to show everything that's going on and stuff like that. And I appreciate them because they really don't do the multiple camera cuts the way the other company does that I can't stand. But like the timing of the camera cuts is always just so bad and I don't know what it is. And some weeks I can let it go. Other weeks it's bothersome. And I don't know. Maybe I'm just in a mood tonight, but tonight I was kind
no,
of pissed.
no.
I
I've
was
seen
like
it on Twitter as well.
what is going on with the what's going on in the production truck? Like I I don't know. Like does Tony Khan need to start filling in the production team like when the finish is about to happen to focus them? And like if
That's what I was gonna ask you. Like, what's the solution here? Because it seems like the only solution is the truck needs to know what's gonna happen throughout the match, and it's obvious that right now they don't. You know what I mean? Because
well, it's equally weird because they go off a 7-second delay. So you would think that there would be some sort of way to I don't know. I don't know. I don't know TV production. So I'm not gonna try and sit
yeah,
here and act like I do. But you would think that like they would have a few seconds where maybe they could switch to the other camera and run it back. I don't know. But like whatever it is, it's just like it's just not working. And it's just
yeah.
constantly ruins good matches. This was a good solid match. People didn't see the finish. They didn't see the finish of the match. It's like, what are we
Just
doing here?
remember when we saw the behind the scenes of the CM Punk
Right.
arrival, and there was that guy like cut to camera 7, camera 6. Like I don't know if it's the same guy anymore because it sure doesn't feel like it.
No, not at all. But so that was something that like just it's got to stop. And I
Yeah.
can't remember. I think it happens later in the night too. I don't remember. I think it did. But
Yeah, it,
yeah,
it happens at least once a show. You know, there's something that they're just, I don't know.
and it's not a Collision exclusive thing. This is something that happens on Dynamite too.
Yeah,
So
that's what I was saying. It happens once on almost every show except Rampage because they can edit it out.
right,
But
exactly. Rampage, they can edit in, they make it work. We're live.
all right, next up we had a really nice recap of Willow Nightingale's like entire week. She had some really nice matches all week against Athena was a really good match. That was a really nice video package there. And next up after that, we got Miro. Miro gets a really nice reaction from the crowd as he's coming down the ramp, but his opponent, Nick Camarado, attacks him from behind. And dude, I don't know if Nick is being separated from QT, but he still had like the Nightmare Factory logo on his gear. But I really liked how the gear kind of just made it look like a brand new character for Nick Camarado. He was just a big, beefy dude. And I thought he had a pretty decent, match here with Miro, even though it was sub 5 minutes. I'm sure it was, what do you think it was, about 3 or 4 minutes?
It was 90 seconds, give or take. But
Yeah.
no, Camarado hasn't been with QT since the factory disbanded.
No, yeah, you're right. You're right.
No, I mean, I look, if you're gonna do a 90-second squash, like again, this was better than the Brit squash from Wednesday because the Brit squash gave no substance. I'm still not gonna give it a complete pass, but as far as a squash goes, at least they attempted to do something different here. Like,
Yeah.
having the guy who's getting squashed attack the wrestler before the match was actually really interesting. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I was
And
like,
having it be someone who's part of the main roster as well. Like he's
Yeah.
all elite. So
and I was like, is this gonna go like some time? And it didn't. So I was a little I was let down at the end, but I was like, okay,
Yeah.
you know what? That's fine. I mean, Miro should be, looking good right now. So okay.
Yep.
Fine.
Yeah. So Miro hits that jump kick, pump kicks him into oblivion. Game over, taps him out. That was really nice. I wish it wasn't a squash like it was, but I thought it was decent for seeing Miro on Collision. Next up, we got a really nice FTR video package recapping their pretty much their entire journey through AEW. I was getting like some, I don't want to say like emotional vibes going on, but you know what I mean? Like seeing the old school FTR the first time they won the championships and stuff like that. This was a really nice video package. I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, it was a well-made video package.
Mm-hmm. Next up, we had the House of Black versus the Acclaimed and Daddy Ass for the World Trios Championships. Man, Max's rap to start off was fan-frickin-tastic. And the moment he insulted Buddy Matthews, man, did he just go off and he attacked Max the moment Max basically said his name. It was great. I think he's had it up to here with all this Dominic crap. And, I feel bad for the guy, man. What about you?
No, I absolutely do too. And I'm happy that Buddy was able to spin it because the House of Black came out looking extremely dominant tonight and they looked incredible.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man, it makes me so mad to know that company, they know what they're doing. Like, we're not dumb. We know that they're doing this on purpose. Like,
Yeah.
oh, your boyfriend works over there? Well, boy, oh boy, are we gonna do some fun stuff with you? Like the fact that the NXT socials, and I mean all the WWE socials, like they made that video of like a fan asking like, oh, what do you and Dom like to do together? And she says they like to fuck. And I'm just like, okay, well, that's kind of weird because
So,
a lot of fans are smart enough to know that her and Buddy are together. Just like,
yeah. So I think you
great.
might have seen, either you or I saw an edited version of that where she just says, like, you know what we like to do. You know what I mean? Like,
No, after that she says fuck, and they do bleep it out, but you can tell what she's saying. Like,
that's
with her
crazy.
mouth.
Yeah, I didn't see that one. That's wild.
Yeah, no, there's an extended part of it. I shared it on the Discord. You must not have seen it, but it was yeah. So she says, "You know what we like to do," and then she kind of chuckles, and then she's like she clearly mouths the word fuck, and then they bleep it, but you can still see like it's a one syllable word that, like, you know what I mean? Like, I know how you know how to lip read. You can see what she's saying.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's disgusting. It makes me sick, and I think that it's a really shitty situation to put Buddy in, because now this dude's been the butt of the entire internet jokes, more so WWE fans. But AEW fans are kind of like, bro, you shouldn't just sit here and take this shit.
Yeah,
And
that's bad.
yeah, it's lame. So I was really happy to see Buddy kind of get that moment tonight where it was like, like usually I'm all for Max just destroying people with his raps, but I didn't want Buddy to get that tonight. I was like, oh man, he's gonna, like, as soon as I realized it when I sat down for the show to start tonight, and I was like, oh man, Max is gonna talk about Buddy, isn't he? That sucks.
Yes, he
Luckily,
is.
that wasn't the case. Buddy took him out before Max could get that far.
So Coog says, speak on the Buddy situation, did not know what the Fed was doing to him. They're not really, it's just their storyline is just really shitty for a boyfriend. You know what I mean? Like, that's
No,
all.
I mean, like, let's be real. They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like,
But they just don't
act like
care.
they
It's not
don't.
like they're going to be like, oh, you have a boyfriend? Okay, we won't do this then. You know.
No, I'm telling you, they're doing it because Buddy works for AEW.
Oh, you
Like,
think so?
oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Because they went and they tried the contract tampering thing, and a lot of them were like, okay, well, we're not, like, some of them decided to take the high road and not do that. Well, I mean, all of them. No one got out.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying. Like, there's
Yeah,
no
I
way.
got
You
you.
mean to tell me that by coincidence they just, like, all right, we're gonna start this story where Rhea Ripley is fucking
So
dominant.
I don't doubt that they started it out of spite, but I don't think they're continuing it out of spite. I think they, this is one of those they hit lightning in a bottle type things.
Agree to disagree, because that's garbage. I know you watch,
Oh,
so
I don't want to just listen. We know their fans are eating it up, but I can't stand it. I can't stand Dominic.
lightning in the bottle would imply that.
It's one of their main storylines right now. People are eating it up. I don't know what it is, but like kind of like how coach. So I'm talking about how like AEW with Adam Cole and MJF have basically nailed something that they didn't think was going to be so good. That's the same thing that's going on with Rhea and Dominic. I'm
No,
not
I think Coach understands what lightning in the bottle term means. I think he's like, you think that that's lightning in a bottle.
from their point of view is what I mean. From the WWE's point of view, yes.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, whatever you say.
All right, so Big Brody destroys basically everyone in this match every time he gets near anybody. We got a really nice hot tag to Daddy Ass, but Big Brody comes in the ring and absolutely annihilates him. And he takes a black mass. 1, 2, 3, House of Black win. And this was a little bit emotional here for me, man. I was not expecting this at all. So the House of Black, one by one, kind of kneel down next to Daddy Ass or Billy Gunn, and they kind of pat him on the back, and they all whisper something to him. And Billy Gunn takes his boots off, which took a little bit of a long time there, but takes his boots off and leaves his boots in the ring. I was not expecting that, man. And the crowd chanting, "You still got it," and him almost crying, like, oof, that one, this got to me a little bit. What about you?
Yeah, but I mean, I was more surprised than like sad,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
also it's hard to kind of take it seriously because this isn't the first guy in an AEW ring to take his boots off because he lost to Malachi Black. So
Right? At least
I'm
he
just
got
like,
both of them off, though.
I mean, I was like, I gotta see where we go with this. I'm not down on, like, I'm not 100% yet. I don't know.
Yeah. But
So
didn't Cody only get one boot off? You think he's going heel, coach?
Coach thinks he's going here. Yeah, it's possible. I don't know. I mean, the way that the House of Black responded to him makes me kind of believe that, but I don't know for sure. So I guess we'll have to see.
I don't see why it wouldn't be all right for him to join the Gun Club. He is Billy Gunn, so, finally go join his sons and help them do something. We'll see. So next up, we had the Royal Rampage recap. Just a big old recap of that Royal Rampage from last night, which was actually pretty cool. If you didn't see it, that was very long, a little drawn out for me, but by the end of it, I was like, wow, that was pretty freaking cool. Darby Allin won that, by the way, right?
Yes.
Yeah, giving him a shot at the TNT Championship coming up. But next up here on Collision, we had FTR in the ring with Tony Schiavone, and this was an interesting one here where Cash gets on the mic first, and he goes on to say how there's a whole bunch of other tag teams that they have unfinished business with. And my immediate thought was like, are they overlooking MJF and Adam Cole? You know what I mean? Like, he was already talking about his next three opponents after MJF and Adam Cole. And I was like, wow, this could definitely be a case of where, you know, they're just overlooking their next opponents.
So, first and foremost, once again, these Jersey glue huffers, they got the whole bag, they got the paint, glue in the bag, and they're doing the whole thing. I don't know. I don't snuff. So I don't know exactly how it works. I mean, I think it's really simple. You just put it in the
Yeah,
bag.
they were like, you're not explaining it correct at all.
I don't fucking know. I'm not gonna act like I do drugs or huff anything. I do not. But they can't decide who they like. Yeah, at this point, FTR talks about the Bucks. They boo the Bucks. They've booed Punk already tonight. They booed Connecticut. They were just booing everybody. In fact, at this point of the show, backup Hangman, who from the Wrestle Purists, who was there from as media tonight, said that the only people at this point of the show that Newark didn't hate was the Bullet Club Gold, the Acclaimed, Ricky Starks, and Darby Allin. Everyone else got booed.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I don't even know what the fuck's going on. So this promo, Cash tells Adam Cole not to trust MJF. He knows out of experience. And then Dax goes on and tells this story, right? And talks about how his dad wanted him to get a job and he's working, and the rich kids who don't need to work would come in and dicks, and Dax wanted to punch him, but didn't. And he says that that situation kind of feels relevant to his life today. I'm assuming because MJF is rich. I thought that this promo was actually pretty bad.
Dude, I was like falling asleep. I was like, bro.
So number one, Cash was better than Dax tonight, which never happens when it comes to the promo. Dax is usually like the Rock, not in terms of Dwayne, but like the Rock of the team, and that he keeps the team focused when it comes to promo work and really wrestling work. I mean, I think Dax is better than Cash in a lot of ways. But that being said, this was terrible. I was watching this, and like that crowd once again, I mean, like stupid Jersey crowd, but the one of the few times tonight that made sense, they started chanting double clothesline. They were heckling Dax at that point. They were just like, get to the point, Dax. Like, let's go. Come on, let's get to it. Look, man, Tony Khan needs to call an audible, especially after this promo. Like Adam Cole and MJF cannot lose next Saturday. I'm sorry.
No, they can't.
They can't. Like, I don't care what you're doing. I don't care what the plan is. I understand that it's like, oh, it's the world champion. And I actually saw this train of thought like on Twitter where people were like, he's the world champion. He shouldn't be caught up in this tag team feud. Like, oh, you want them to win the belts, and then what's the plan after that? I was like, I don't fucking know, but I definitely don't want them to lose to FTR next Saturday. Because
it's easy. You have FTR lose on Saturday, and then you have their rematch at All In, and then MJF and Adam Cole have their fallout during the match at All In, and then you have them for the title at All Out. Boom.
See, here's my problem though. I number one, if they win the belts on Collision next Saturday, I don't know if I want them to drop it at All In. I feel like All In needs to be a very, I don't know how to say this. I guess I feel like it needs to be a feel-good show. You know what I mean? Like it's a historic show for them. And I feel like whatever you're going to do, especially in what you would assume one of your headlining matches will be, I feel like you need to kind of like feel good about it. And like, I don't know if I want to see MJF turn on Adam Cole in Wembley. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if that's going to...
Yeah. I see what you're saying. You could keep it on him past that, but, you know, that's just one idea that I had, you know?
Yeah, possibly. I mean, I get it, and I mean the timeline would make sense because you give them a few weeks to enjoy the ride. You give them like 3
Yeah.
weeks, and then they drop the belts, and then the next week they do their blow off match. And like I think that would
Yeah.
work. I don't think you're not onto something, but I don't
And
know.
it gives you a nice title match for All Out, you know? So
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, so I don't know. I think, man, gotta make that audible, TK. You
yeah.
gotta
I
call
just
the
wrote
audible.
I wrote down Dax tells a story, and then I wrote like snore.
I also wrote Dax tells us. That's why I didn't even like make notes about the story itself. I just retold it.
Yeah.
Whatever. But I mean, yeah. So yes, please next week make the right call. Do not have
Yeah.
I can't think of a lamer thing than sitting here next week and saying, yeah, FTR beat Adam Cole and MJF because MJF turned on Adam Cole.
We'll see.
Terrible.
All right, next up we had a pretty decent recap of the Blood and Guts on Wednesday night. That was pretty nice. And then next up, the segment was Sky Blue versus Taya Valkyrie. And man, this did not go the way that I had thought. I would have predicted this the same way 99 out of 100 times. Great match, don't get me wrong. Like, remember we were talking a little bit of shit about Taya a few weeks ago, but I think she's actually stepped it back up here. Taya hits a really weird, crazy curb stomp on Sky Blue. No shenanigans in the match. I kind of expected the Outcasts to get involved in this one. But no, Taya Valkyrie hits this crazy curb stomp and picks up the 1, 2, 3. And dude, I was not expecting Taya Valkyrie to win this match. Like I said, 99 out of 100 times I would have picked Sky Blue to win this match.
Yeah, I agreed with you. I said something in the Discord where I was like, yo, yes, I called it like 100%. I was like, Sky Blue's definitely winning this match.
Yeah.
But she did not, which was very surprising. I agree with what Coach said. I thought this was Taya's best match in AEW to date. Really, yeah, it was really good. I really enjoyed it.
PK said,
It was a good match. After the match, Taya said, "Oh, that didn't go how you thought it was gonna go. You beat a." She was like, "I beat one of your little homegrown sweethearts," and I was like, "Okay, so yeah, she's joining the Outcasts."
Yep.
And then
She
she
said
goes on to
homegrown,
say,
absolutely.
yeah, she goes on to say, you know, Britt Baker won her match on Wednesday, but it was against an extra, and that we all beat the extras, which I really liked. That I was like, yeah, that's why I didn't like it on Wednesday. So I thought that was really cool. And Taya's like, yeah, come and play with me, Britt. And
And I
again,
think they already announced it, right? Taya versus Britt on Wednesday.
yeah, they have announced for Dynamite. So yeah, I thought this was great as far as what we've
Yeah.
gotten from Taya Valkyrie to date. Like I thought this was the best stuff she's done so far. It was a great match, and the post match promo was pretty damn good too. So
Yeah, absolutely. All right, next up was Christian Cage and Ricky Starks versus Darby Allin and CM Punk, the best in the world. Dude, this match was awesome. I don't know if this
So-
was 20 plus minutes or what, but I freaking loved this. I was even watching the picture in pictures.
So, as we get into it, number one, yes, this was a great match. I do want to kind of touch on some more stuff about the crowd and how terrible they were. So a few people that were at the show tonight, one of them tweeted that the amount of fans at this show who don't watch the product regularly was a high number. Most of the fans didn't know people's moves or anything about certain talent. Kind of weird. Someone
Oh.
responded, "Was this feels like a Fed town?" And he responded, "Yes, I have people in my section chanting WWE stuff like Miro Day and Vince/Triple H is better than TK." Just a really weird crowd around me. At this point, Section 5. So Backup Hangman said that Section 5 is putting themselves over, and the rest of the crowd told them to shut the fuck up.
Is that where Juhas was tonight? Juhas, you in section 5, bro?
Yeah, so that apparently there's some really weird thing where like during one of the commercial breaks, Dasha, because because Dasha works Collision,
Yep.
Dasha was like shouting out the sections like they do, keep the crowd
Mhm.
hype. And apparently like the only section throughout the night she didn't talk to was section 5. So at that point, they also went into business for themselves, which distracted the entire crowd. Further elaborating, the lower section near the floor tried to stay involved with the main event, but most of the fans in the upper section were shouting at each other, putting themselves over. There was a New Jersey. So this tweet was, New Jersey is a 2-pack of ass chanting. Edge was better. They were chanting Edge was better to Christian. Fucking lies.
Lies, slander.
The worst slander. And then post Dynamite, the women's wrestler of the year, Athena, is wrestling a match. And did I say Dynamite? I meant Collision. Sorry.
Yeah.
Post Collision, she wrestled a match.
I didn't even catch that.
Throughout the entire thing, including her entrance, they were chanting LA Knight, doing his catchphrases, chanting Section 5, and chanting NXT. The person who tweeted this said, "Fuck you, New Jersey. Terrible, terrible crowd."
Chanting NXT. That's
Can you imagine you have the women's wrestler of the fucking year wrestling and you're chanting NXT? Like, okay, so here's.
Oh, here it comes. Hold on. Go ahead.
My thing is, like, I don't want it to be this way. Things were not supposed to be this way. You know, New Jersey, they're my neighbor. You know what I mean? Like I'm down here in Philly, and like they're right there. And I don't, want to do this. I don't want to have gripes with them. But out of all the issues I have with New Jersey, if good wrestling is going on in front of you, number one, you're so fucking stupid that you paid for a ticket to go to this show to troll this show because you're a Fed fan. Number one, that's stupid. Thank you for paying Tony Khan to go to his show. Fucking idiots. You have great wrestling in front of you, and your first instinct is, I'm going to chant the section I'm in, or chant NXT, or anything like that. You are beyond saving. You are the person that does not get into the lifeboat as the Titanic is sinking. You are the person that you just wish. I don't know if I want to go that far, Jeff. No, I can't.
We're just gonna make them. They're going down with the ship, man.
Yeah, they're just gonna go down.
You're staying there with the violin players.
Yeah, I wish they were flushed down the toilet as opposed to the other thing that when people created. That, let's just say, there you go. I said it. I fucking hate New Jersey, and I fucking hate New Jersey wrestling. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that there's some outliers. I'm sure that there's some people who are just stuck in New Jersey who don't have the choice to be stuck in New Jersey. But man, fucking terrible. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting that Athena, the best women's wrestler of this year, had to deal with that shit tonight. Fucking
that's
terrible.
lame. Maybe they were
unacceptable. Completely unacceptable.
It's like
it's
that's where she was fired from, and that's where, like, oh god,
it's disrespectful as fuck. It's absolutely disrespectful as fuck. And like, look,
absolutely,
I get it.
It's horrible.
Like, I know, like, you go to a wrestling show, you should be able to kind of like, have fun, chant whatever you want to chant. But like, come on, man. Like, you went there, like, to get, like, you went there to chant WWE stuff. You thought you were gonna be cool. You were gonna hijack the show. Honestly, I saw someone tweet this, and I think they were saying it as a joke. And honestly, I don't know. But if I'm Tony Khan, I'm looking at this crowd and being like, man, fuck Jersey. I'm not coming back here.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they like running the Prudential Center, so they probably will be back. But yeah, it was a shit show. It was a really shitty crowd. And man, I don't want to drive to Newark ever again anyway, so I'd be okay if they don't run.
Yeah, that drive sucked.
Yeah, I don't. Just stop running Prudential Center. There you go. Bam. Great.
The tolls, man, you got to pay to get out of New Jersey. Like, when you're leaving, you got to pay to get out of there.
Mm-hmm. You don't have to pay to get in, but you have to pay to get out.
Lame.
Fucking hate it.
But this was a great match here. We had a really nice hot tag to Darby. Darby went to do a tope suicida, his freaking missile, whatever you want to call it. And he winds up hitting the brick wall that is Luchasaurus on the outside. Luchasaurus just kind of lowered his shoulder and just absolutely annihilated Darby there. Darby eventually gets a hot tag to Punk. Punk goes around body slamming everybody. Ricky Starks hits a big Rochambeau to Darby Allin for a really, really close 2.9 count. CM Punk hits the go to sleep on the outside to Christian Cage. I thought that was where Punk and Darby were going to take over and get the win here. But Ricky Starks, while CM Punk is distracted on the outside with Christian Cage, he gets a roll up onto Darby and he holds the ropes again and picks up the win with the 1, 2, 3. So looks like Starks is really going to start leaning more and more into this heel role, you think?
Yeah, I think so for sure.
Yeah. Oh, Coog, didn't you see me hit that dude with my championship belt, bro? Violence has broken out multiple times. Just kidding. There's been fights in the audience a few times at some shows that I've been at, Coog. Not a big usually happens when people get drunk and stupid.
Yeah, I mean,
So
again, it was a shitty crowd.
what'd you think of Ricky Starks holding the ropes again here? I think we're kind of cementing the fact that he meant to do it 2 times is no longer an accident, you know?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think it's just they were trying to double down that Ricky's a heel. So,
Yeah.
which I think
Absolutely.
you kind of had to, because again, CM Punk is getting very mixed reactions right now. So having a babyface turn heel against him, it's kind of messy. So by them kind of like, nope, he cheated against Darby this time.
Yeah.
So like like I feel like that finish was planned to make it very clear, like Ricky Starks is a heel. That is what we've done. Um, and I thought that they really kind of did a good job tonight, both with the opener and the main event, to kind of, I think, make up for the fact that like some people did not like Punk losing last week. Some people did not like Ricky turning heel last week. I think that their bounce back here tonight was really well done. I think it makes a lot of sense. I mean, you know, they say
Yeah,
the
I
bad
agree.
stuff, and
I didn't have any problem with Punk losing last week. And, people are like, oh, but what about the red bag? And I'm like, man, we haven't even seen that red bag since the first time he mentioned it. So
well, they
I'm down
mentioned
with
it
the red
again
bag.
tonight, so they're going to continue working with that
Yeah.
storyline. But I mean, you just
And he,
argue that he didn't win clean. So there you go. That's what
and
it is. It's like
Punk,
the ref saw it.
Punk basically told us what's in the bag. Like, I think we already knew, but he very much insinuated what is in the bag. He's like, do you want a shot at this? Which a shot usually means a shot at a title, right? And he says the one that Max wants to pretend doesn't exist. So obviously it's another world championship. You know what I mean? Like, he basically told us what it is. So all right, well, that's it for the review on a what I thought was a pretty decent episode of Collision. Not one of their all-timers, but 6 episodes in, I thought we've had at least 4 really, really good episodes of Collision here. I'm loving Juice Robinson every single week, man. That's really nice to have a workhorse who's actually putting on some really good matches like that. And looks like we're gonna see Juice next week, right?
Yes, he will be on the card now.
Well, what do we got going for? Let's go with Dynamite first, I guess.
Pulling everything up.
Yeah, no worries.
Well, I'm pulling it up. I just want to reiterate once again. This is such a WWE crowd. Like, terrible. Like, just absolutely terrible. They were doing all the stuff that WWE fans do. And it was just dumb. So dumb.
You see the double clothesline shirt for Adam Cole and
Yeah, they just put out a second shirt in 2 weeks. Like, you can't break this team up yet. Like, come on, you're gonna have people buy 2 shirts, spend $60? No, get out of here.
double clothesline.
Coming up this Wednesday on Dynamite for the AEW International Championship, Orange Cassidy defending against AR Fox. Darby Allin versus Swerve Strickland. I think this is like their 4th or 5th match in AEW. I'm not opposed to it because it's going to be amazing. So,
Always good.
Britt Baker versus Taya Valkyrie on Wednesday. Pac versus a man that forgot about him, Gravity. I appreciate that they've made this joke multiple times on TV. Um, people are saying that this match is like 12 years in the making or whatever it is. But that's really enjoyable. Also on Dynamite, John Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli versus the Lucha Bros and Best Friends. We will hear from MJF and Adam Cole. Next week for Collision, it will be FTR versus MJF and Adam Cole for the AEW World Tag Team Championship. Buddy Matthews versus Andrade El Idolo in a ladder match for Andrade's mask. Action Andretti, Darius Martin, and El Hijo del Vikingo versus Juice Robinson and The Gun.
You said Vikingo's name perfectly, bro. That's a good week of wrestling we got going already. I can't wait for next week, man. I wanna see that MJF Adam Cole FTR match. Oh, it's gonna be good.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great week of wrestling. I think Collision looks really good next week. Dynamite looks good too. I think I'm definitely more excited for the Collision show. I mean, it's got the tag title match, it's got that ladder match, but no, Dynamite's got some really good stuff too. So
I'm more excited because I need to see Tony Khan veer off the beaten path here, man. Like, we've been saying it for a long time. He has a hard time, changing the script when something happens, like an injury or whatever it may be. And this is one of those times where I think in 2 weeks have outsold every other shirt or every other item on the store. This MJF Adam Cole, better than you, Bebe shirt has outsold everyone in 2023.
yeah,
You got to understand that the fans are absolutely into this, probably way more than you ever anticipated. And when that happens, man, sometimes you got to veer from the plan. And that's why I'm really excited for Collision. I really want to see this veer away from the plan from Tony. I really do.
yeah, I think it's gonna be an interesting thing to see. I mean, will Tony do it? I mean, for all we know, that was never the plan. But I mean, you got to think at some point it was to have FTR win here. But no, you gotta like. It's gonna be an interesting thing to see if Tony Khan will change his booking here, because again, notoriously, like, Tony Khan's a great course corrector, but he's not always the most proactive when it comes to his booking.
Like, I think this is such an obvious one that even FTR needs to be like, Tony, this needs to happen here. We get it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, even FTR should see what's happening here.
I hope so. I mean, we'll find out next Saturday, but MJF and Adam Cole should win the tag team. I mean, look at it, there's like no downside to doing it. They're such a hot act. You need to ride that momentum while you can. Like, it'll make MJF and Adam Cole look good because, number one, it's Cole's first championship in AEW. It gives MJF the opportunity to be able to brag later on that he's like a double champion.
Yeah.
At one point, like, there's so much good that can get out of it. Like, FTR can afford to lose. They just had a match of the year contender against the Gun, or I'm sorry, Bullet Club Gold. Like, they'll be fine. They can take the loss here.
Has anybody ever been an AEW double champion?
Yeah, Pac was.
What was he?
He was Trios and All Atlantic.
Oh, wow. Okay. Nice.
Has there been any others? I don't think there's been any others. I know Pac for sure. But again, it's regardless. Like, it's the right call to do, to call the audible and not have them go that route. So
yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you guys very much for joining us here tonight. What did you say that we were gonna do for the game room? Are we gonna try to do that on Sunday night?
yes, if you're good for tomorrow, that would be what we're trying to do.
I'll let you know. I should be good. If anything, it'll be like 9 p.m. Eastern time, but I should be perfectly fine for it if that's okay.
That should be fine with me. I'll talk to Dev. I mean, really, anytime, probably afternoon would be great for Dev. So, like, whenever in that time, like the afternoon/night, you can fit it in, we can make.
Okay. I'll keep you guys informed. I guess got a few things to do.
Yeah, I got you. No worries.
All right. Other than that, we'll be back on Wednesday for the Dynamite review. I think I'll be doing that one solo, so it'll be a nice, quick, and easy one. And then we'll let you guys know what we're doing for the Collision show. When the time comes on Wednesday, I'll let you guys know. But you want to go ahead and close us out, Rome?
Absolutely. This has been episode. Oh, Jeff, what episode is this?
Let's see here. It should be.
Not there. I don't see the episode number.
I don't know where it went. Yeah, so probably like 159, maybe 160 even.
I think it's 160 because I feel like I said 150.
Yeah, it's a Collision. It is 160. You are right. Yeah. All right.
This is episode 160 of the Broken Tables podcast. Thank you to everyone hanging out with us tonight. Thanks to the Coog, Coach Nick, Michael Duke. Doge was here earlier. To get everyone, I think Grant was here earlier. He popped in for a little bit. But thank you guys for hanging out. Again, tomorrow night we will be doing most likely the Game Room podcast. This week the schedule is a little weird because my boss and other manager are both out on vacation this week, so my schedule sucks for 1 week, but it's just 1 week, so it's okay. But we will be back. We will, we'll do our Dynamite show. I think, Jeff, you said you're going to do that one, and then the Collision show will probably have to be on Sunday, whether it be like the morning time or something.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
Yeah, but so we'll see about that. Make sure you follow us on our social medias down below. Please help and follow our Twitter. Jeff has paid Elon Musk money, and so now he needs to be able to justify that money. So if we can get some more followers, he can state that was the check mark that did it and not you wonderful people here. That would be great.
You want to talk about justified? I got 35,000 views on one of my tweets. I was like, holy shit.
Jeff, you didn't even use your edit button to fix the grammar.
It is what it is.
What do you mean you paid for it?
I've gone 10 years without editing. I don't need to edit shit.
Jeff, look, here's the thing. If you're going to pay Elon Musk, can you at least use the service? Like, that's all I'm asking. If you're going to do it, if you're going to make poor financial choices, that's fine. You're an adult. In fact, you're like double an adult. You're like 80 years old. I'm not going to tell you how to spend your money. But at least use the service you paid for. Like, the first word in that tweet was misspelled.
Yeah, unfortunately, you only get an hour, and I didn't catch it in the first hour. That's why.
Really?
Yeah.
That's weird. All right, well.
Yeah, I don't know why why the hour makes any sense, but yeah.
All right. Anyways, we'll be back tomorrow talking video games. Catch you guys later.
All right. Thank you guys for joining us, and we will catch you guys tomorrow night for the Game Room. Top guys out.